We're going to sharpen the chisel without any guides. Yeah, we're going to do it freehand. Because you can do it freehand. I don't necessarily recommend doing it freehand. In fact, I recommend you make one of these very simple little guides for your chisels and your planing irons, different angles to suit, with a little screw-in magnets like that, because it works really, really well. That'd be my recommendation. You know, can you imagine how easy that is to actually sharpen anything? You just got to do that. It'd be perfect every time. It really is. Works so well, and it's ridiculously easy. But in this video, we're going to do it without any guides whatsoever, other than my body. Okay, my lovely body. Anyway, we're going to bring you down to the oil stone, and that's what we're going to be using. We're going to be using a basic Northern India oil stone, and this is the 188, and they're made in the USA, and they're dual. You've got coarse on one side and fine on the other. So we're going to use the coarse to start with, and we're going to do it all by hand, using my muscle memory. Yeah, are you excited to see my muscle memory? I hope so. Well, first of all, you'll make sure the stone is sitting flat in a vise. Let's bring it down so you can see. There you go. So it's flat in the vise, so just tap on the side, it's sitting a bit high on that side. So I'm going to plonk that back in there, maybe a little bit lower. Actually, look at that. That's better. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sharpen it. Yeah? And the first stage is going to be creating the primary bevel. There's a bit of one already, actually. Now, I just created the primary bevel here, as you can see. I've done that on the linear, and I've started the first grind. But you can do it all by hand if you like. But it's not sharp, as you can see. So, no, it's definitely not sharp. You can see all the burrs on there. Yeah, that is nowhere near. Yeah, that's not sharp. So, what we're going to do is we're going to find our angle, like so. And you could use a guide, give you some sort of idea if you want to start with. Then carry on. And once you've got your muscle memory, you'll be on a winner, that you will. Now, the thing is, I would say this stone actually is a little bit on the high side for me at the moment. I would prefer maybe another 3 inches lower, okay? And I'll use a swinging motion, not with the hips. No hip motion, just a swinging motion from the shoulder. And the idea is you should naturally maintain that chisel at the angle it needs to be. So you're swinging from the shoulder, but not in an arc. So you're pushing forward. So think of it, you can practice that, like for instance on here, and you'll feel the motion. So you're pushing forward, and your elbow is changing its angle, but your shoulder is not. No, well, the shoulder's just swinging, and I'll get my worms out in a minute. The chisel will stay at the right angle, so with the swinging action of the shoulder, but the elbow will actually pivot. And that way you'll maintain the angle of the actual chisel against your oil stone. So I'm going to use a little bit of white spirit on there, because I do like to use white spirit, not oil, because it dissolves whatever, that's actually impregnated in the stone already, you see, and lifts it out, keeps the stone cleaner. I just prefer it, I think it's better. Now, if you're using a diamond sharpener like one of these, stuff like that, you might use Windex, but even then I still use white spirit, because then it doesn't rust. So I'll maintain my angle like so, and then we're going to create a sort of a swinging motion with muscle memory, like so, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. Some people like to do a figure of 8, like so, which is fine. It's pretty much what I was taught to do, actually, by my father, actually, a figure of 8. And the idea is to use all the stone. That's why you do the figure of 8. It doesn't give you a sharper edge. But it will do later on if the stone gets old, because, if you carry on just using the middle of the stone, for instance, you'll end up with a concave stone eventually. So it is best to do the figure of 8 if you can. If you can't, just do it backwards and forwards, like so. Just inspect occasionally, have a little inspection, see what's going on, and you'll see sort of shiny areas which have been polished off on the edge from your work. I can see just there, so it's a shiny edge just there. So it's doing quite a nice job polishing it off. So maintain your edge, your angle, you'll feel it, because that's flat. There's a flat on there, and you'll feel it on your stone. So just bring it back and forwards again, or in your figure of 8, and keep going until you've polished that off. Okay, so we're getting rid of all the old grinds that I've created. Now the purpose of this video is to try and help people that haven't really gained this skill yet, you know, because it's not difficult sharpening. It's all about the muscle memory. It's all about maintaining, that angle, yeah. But if you can get yourself a guide, I recommend using a guide, even if you're a pro at this, and you know, because eventually what you might go too far one way or the other. You know, you're getting accumulative error over periods of time, and then you have to regrind again. You know, you might not mind that; it might be fine for you. But you know, if you want to maintain an angle throughout the life of the actual chisel, well, then a guide such as one of those, or make one yourself. Let me just show you what I mean. If you put that in there like so, all right, okay, and you can literally just back and forth like that. It's so easy, and you're guaranteed to get the right angle. Yeah? It's just perfect. It works so well. And all it is a block of wood with two baggers in it. But otherwise, do it by hand. Until you're happy that you've polished that micro bevel. A bit more work. Bit more oil, or white spirit I'm using. Okay, I'm happy with that. And now I'm going to flip her over and work with the finer side. I actually can't remember what grit that is. I can't remember if it's about 1,000 or what have you, which isn't that fine. I tend to go to around 3,000 plus. General purpose up to 3,000 is what I generally do. But you can go to about 12 to 16,000 grit if you want. So exactly the same motion again, maintaining that angle. If you've got any lumps on there, you feel you're going riding over something, you want to get rid of it by swiping it off. Because what I'll do is I'll lift the actual chisel. So if you've got any bits of grit on there, you want to get rid of them. By lifting the chisel, you end up putting more of a grind on one face than the other. You effectively jack my side up. So keep doing that. Backwards and forwards, or a figure of 8. Same motion again. It's practice. So all you've got to do is practice, practice, practice. And if you're worried, just practice on, I don't know, something that isn't actually going to affect your chisel. You know? Practice on a piece of wood, a hard piece of wood somewhere, or, you know, the missus' countertop in the kitchen. You know how it goes. Yeah. As long as it's flat, and you just practice that motion from the shoulder and extending the elbow. Now I'm creating quite a bit of a burr on the back now, so I need to think about flattening the back of the chisel on the oil stone. So I'm going to sit down to that one. And the first few swipes, I'm actually going to pull it away from the edge. Because what I don't want to do is fold the wire edge, because I've created a burr here, you see. Don't know if you can hear it. There's a burr. Now, that burr is folding that way. So if I attack it that way, I could fold that burr over there and effectively lift the chisel off the actual Norton India oil stone. So I'm going to push it down like so and pull it away. All right? You've got to pull it out, you know, just in time, like that. Okay? Yeah. Got to look after your tool, you know. Right. So I'm pulling it away, and I've created a burr in the opposite direction now. The burr now is on the top. So you just got to keep reversing. Just try and make it as easy as I possibly can for you. Okay. Now something I want to show you. Hopefully you can see this. On the end of that chisel, it looks like there's a little thread there. That's not a thread on the edge of that chisel. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a little tiny, we call a wire edge. There's a little tiny piece of metal. Skinny, skinny piece of metal. It's down on my finger there actually, but I don't know if you can see that. It's there. Oh, you see it? Yeah, that is the wire edge, which has now just come off. Which is good. We don't want it. So we carry on with our motions, going through the motions that we are. And now we carry on with the back of the chisel. Like so. And with the back onto the micro bevel. Is that my dear wife over there?
Sorry?
Okay.
Your food is done.
Okay, I'll be there in a minute. And then back on that face there. Apparently my food is done. Just had a message. She was sneaking around the corner to see if I was recording. That's what she was doing. My dear missus. And she said, your food is done. She's made me food. It's very kind of her, isn't it? If I was Wrangler Star, he'd say something like, oh, that's a sign of a good woman or something, you know. He's very misogynistic, that one. I don't know why. I used to like watching his videos when he did it on homesteading, but these days he's gone a little bit misogynistic. A bit hateful, really. I don't like it. I watched one of his videos the other day, actually, going in my short feed, and he was going on about men with handbags. And then he was going on, another video was going on about straws. Ben, be manly, don't use a straw. What? Just drink out of the glass, he goes. What the hell? The things that bother some people, I don't know. I really don't understand it. And I'm not going to try either. No, there's no point. Okay. It's a shame, because his videos used to be really good. All we need to do was homesteading stuff. Bit religious, but, you know. Dee. Just flattening the back. If you haven't got a flat back on your tool, you're never going to get a good edge. So you can do that first if you want, but you don't have to. You just go with the flow, and just work it. If you need to work the bevel a little bit more, just work the bevel a little bit more to suit until you're happy. People get too hung up on stuff, End of the day, it's the end result that counts. And also, you've got to think to yourself, how sharp do you actually need it? You see all these lovely Japanese chisels and what have you, and you get all that ASMR type content where they're peeling bits of wood off with their chisels. Most people do not need a chisel that sharp. Besides, to maintain an edge like that takes work, and also to lose an edge like that takes very little work. So it becomes pointless. You can make your edge weak, basically. Now, I would say I'm pretty happy with that. As it is, that is really sharp. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the 3000 grit. You don't have to do this stage, it's probably sharp enough for you. But if you want to take it a little bit further, because that's 1000 grit, that's a 3000 grit, you can use a diamond sharpener like so. But you don't have to. Depends what's right for you. All right? Don't let people tell you what you should and should be doing, basically. Unless it's about health and safety, obviously. And they're giving you good advice. So I'm doing the same old again. Create the burr on the back again. I do want on a grippy pad, but because I'm trying to keep it in frame, I'll just put it on top there. Oh, that is really sharp now. Blimey. Is it sharp enough to give me a bit of a shave? Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, yeah, pretty much. Can you see that? It's all white and pale now. I've shaved my hands so many times now. Let's find a bit of hair that still exists. Yeah, that's sharp. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty darn sharp. Little hair on there. Yeah. There you go. I think I'm worrying too much. Yeah, oh God, that's really sharp. Oh yeah, that's sharp. Yeah. So I'm trying to hold it in the frame. Yeah, that's plenty sharp enough. For a chisel, and it is. That's oak. So there you go. That's how you can sharpen your chisel using an Norton India oil stone. And to be honest, it's probably enough for most people, just that. So if you're going to invest in an oil stone, this is a sharpening system. For a lot of people, that is enough, you know. I just see so often people just, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do it this way, you got to do it that way, you got to use water stones for this, water stones for that. Now, I understand if you've got Japanese steel, you know, water stones are the best thing to use, you know, but for most people who just want to do a little bit of woodwork, maybe just learning what have you, start with the basics first. Learn how to sharpen with something as simple as that. A Norton India oil stone, and that is the 188. It's 200mm long. It's about, I don't know, about an inch thick, is it? About an inch, 25mm thick, 2 inches, 50mm wide, 200mm or 8 inches long. And it's the standard size. It's the traditional size oil stone. And I've had this quite a few years. I say quite a few years, probably 20 years I've had this stone. I won't be a bit surprised. Was it 20 years? God, I can't remember how many I've had. There's a few. I've got a few in my drawer as well still. But anyway, so there you go. Anyway, if you're most kind, boop the old like button, will you? You know, boop, 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 boop. And maybe subscribe to the channel and the little bell icon, because then you get a warm, fuzzy feeling in your pocket every time I upload another video. And I know it's a bit of a long video, but I'm not editing this video. I'll just prove to you that can be done. And it don't take very long, 17 minutes. You know, you could easily do that in under 10 minutes from a primary grind on the grinder to actually getting a usable edge. Okay? It's not difficult. No, just practice. Toodaloo.